Whew, man. You can tell that summer's been around for a while. It's making my hair start falling out. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Kurt the car guy back again. I got something to show you folks today. Check this out. Alright guys, so we're coming to the end of lawn care season now, at least for most of us. At least those of us up here in the north. Starting to put away the mowers a little bit. Grass is starting to not grow as quick. But it's that time of the year where people are starting to throw out their old lawnmowers again. And I gotta say, this is probably one of the worst ones I've ever tore down myself. But probably not as bad as some of you guys have seen. But it's bad. Yes, I know my shop is a mess, but ask any man who works on anything. Yes, it's a mess, but we know where everything is. Anyways, so I moved my light that was over there to above the bench, and then I just ran the cord down, and then, whoop, runs into the back seat of the car. Oh, hello, Mr. Power Inverter. How fancy. I got a Honda-powered light in my garage. Just kidding. I did a video on upgrading LaFonda's electrical system for the subwoofer not too long ago. Gonna be doing some more work to it. I'm gonna be installing a few more electronic bits in there. And then eventually we're gonna do a video on running auxiliary battery cables from the front battery all the way to the rear and relocating the battery that's in the back seat to the trunk. So make sure you stay looking out for that video as well. But you're not here to listen to me babble. You're here to see some engine carnage. So I think you guys can see why I brought you along today. An engine exploded on my workbench, and I can actually see now for a change. So that's great. But anyways, this little guy here is one of the newer Briggs & Stratton engines. If it means anything to you guys, you can pause and look up that model number. But anyways, this is a newer Briggs & Stratton engine. One of the 300 series. 125cc. This will mark the second one I've torn down this year already. But so story is with this little guy, found him on the side of the road, and like I do every other project, and pulled the mower over, had a little bit of compression, and thought to myself, well, maybe the rings are a little stuck and everything will be fine, we'll be hunky-dory, can make some money. Well, got her back to the shop here, and as you can tell, things progressed rapidly. So, one of the first things I noticed is that the blade was bent, like, literally 90 degrees on the one side. So I said, wow, this thing hit a pretty big rock or stump or something, because I haven't seen a blade bent like that in a long, long time. But anyways, didn't shear the flywheel key at all, surprisingly. So, was a little befuddled, so took the blade off, blade adapter, all that stuff, and there wasn't even that much rust on the shaft. I mean, literally put the impact on it and blade adapter came right off. So then I drizzled a little bit of fuel in the carburetor, still had some fresh gas luckily in the tank, gave her a couple pumps, and it ran, but poorly at best. I mean, it was blowing blow-by out of the crankcase vent. It was smoking like holy hell. I mean, this thing I could tell was gonna be a doozy right off the bat, and boy, it did not disappoint. So we're gonna save this till the end of the video. I got something to show you first that's even more gnarly. So after checking the dipstick, it was evidence that there was definitely gonna need to be complete disassembly of the engine. So for comparison's sake, this is a rear sump cover, or a sump cover off of the same model engine that I disassembled earlier this year. And you can see that there's a little bit of streaking in it if you move your finger around. A little bit. I mean, this is, you know, cheap engine after all. But that's not paint. That's not paint at all. That's bad. And let me just say, when I drain the oil on this thing, oil? Kinda. Mostly on its way to anti-seize, I would say. Now, I did check the valve guides and stuff like that. The head is not severely worn. However, the exhaust valve guide is severely trashed in this head. And funny enough, I noticed that they only have an intake valve seal on these guys. I have another cylinder head of this that's like perfect upstairs on my trophy wall. But yeah, this thing, it's gnarly. And do you guys like these plastic carburetors? I freaking hate them, man. I really do. I would rather go back to the pot metal aluminum than these freaking things, man. But alright, it's time for the big reveal now. And thank you for sticking along with me this long in the video. I know I tend to be really long-winded, but I think it's for a good reason. Anyways, now it's time to get to why it had all the blow-by and the low compression. It's bad. It's really bad. So when I pulled the cylinder head, I saw immediately that there's a severe amount of vertical scarring in this engine. Get a better light here. All the Harley guys are out giving her. Man, can't get a good reflection. There we go. Look at all the vertical scarring. Oh God, my lighting is just terrible. Here. There we go. And if you notice at the very bottom of the bore there's a little chunk missing out of that guy. And there's the money shot right there. As soon as I pulled the cylinder head and I saw that, I knew it was all over. Oh, poor baby. So after disassembling the rest of the engine for the most part, I just didn't have a 15/16 to get the crank out. Everything looks good. Looks good. Oh, what's that? That would explain why the top ring is the only one that's moving. Well, the oil control ring does move slightly now. This second ring is completely stuck and mashed over from that piece of metal in between the ring lands. No wonder why you were making so much noise. Oh man, this thing died a horrible death, folks, and I think it's happy to be gone personally. Ugh. But anyways, yeah, sorry for the long way around the golf course back to the first tee again, but yeah, this thing, it's bad, folks. And if I have anything to say as a catharsis for this video, I would say you get what you pay for, number one, and number two, if you don't take care of it, and this goes for engines, cars, and people, and everything else, you don't take care of it, she gonna go. She gonna go. But that's going to do it for the video today, guys. Really appreciate you stopping down in the shop with me, listening to me do some rambling, and taking a look at some carnage with me, because Lord knows I love to tear apart engines that have seen their day. Definitely makes for some interesting things to look at, for sure. And maybe for you guys, too, if you like that kind of stuff. So, if you feel like it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. That's greatly appreciated. Leave a comment down below. Have you seen anything like this before? Maybe put some pictures up, a link. I'd love to look at a video or two, that's for sure. So, share your stories. You got a piece of lawn equipment that threw a rod, ate itself up, broke a cam, anything like that. Love to hear about it. And then one big other favor, guys, hit that subscribe button. We're at 310 right now. We're a completely independent channel. Everything we do is strictly for the viewers. So, really appreciate you guys stopping by. Thanks for playing today. And then remember, go out there and fix your junk. Unless it's this junk. Hey, I found the bearings. We can put them back in the motor.